Welcome PBA LBC League Bowlers. I'm Neil Stremmel, the PBA Director of Rules and Equipment, and I'm joined by Mitchell Shumway, the Pro Shop Operator at Bowlero Wauwatosa, right here where we're located. And today we were going to talk about footwear. So what types of shoes, Mitchell, are out there?
A couple different types. You got your starter type, which essentially is just the bowling rental shoe. Kind of the first one that you get into when you start bowling, getting into the open play. Then you get a little bit more serious and you want to join a league maybe, or looking to save a few dollars and just have your own pair of shoes. Got this style here, just basic bowling shoe, kind of like a tennis shoe, just a perfect starter shoe, something that's yours and not being used and shared by everybody else. Then when you start bowling more leagues, maybe tournaments, bowling at different houses, you're going to move into a little more of a high-end shoe where you've got the interchangeable pieces, a shoe that's designed a little bit more for performance and designed to last a little bit longer, also to help you improve your game a little bit.
So with this type of shoe, if you were to step in water or you were going to travel to different tournaments, you could change your sole. And if you're bowling in different centers, and different centers are a little more sticky or a little more slippery, you can change that sole to get that same feel. Is that really the main reason why you would go to this type of shoe?
Yeah, it's also a shoe that you're going to stick with for a long time. Like Neil said, if you step in any water, any liquids, and it gets on that sole, a lot of the basic shoes is kind of game over for that shoe. It's tough to clean it out, and they're not going to have that same performance and slide they had with a higher end shoe. If you have an accident, you step in anything, just take the sole off, pop a new one on, and you're good to go.
Well, I'll tell you when it became obvious to me that I needed to change from a shoe that was something like this to interchangeable soles back in the early 90s in Illinois at one of my centers, Town and Country Lanes in the thriving metropolis of Mount Morris, Illinois. I stepped on a cricket and I didn't know it, and I didn't have interchangeable soles, and so I had cricket juice on my sole, and it wasn't until I stepped on the approach that I realized, luckily I didn't try to bowl, but it was as if I stepped in water because it was very tacky at that point. And that was when I realized, for consistency and comfort, I needed to go to something that was interchangeable sole.
About ready to move up from there. Yep.
So maybe you'll know when it's time for you to make that move. Something will happen. Hopefully it's not the same kind of incident that I had.
So we talked about the different shoes, the different styles, when and why you would use them. How about street shoes? Are we allowed to use those while we're bowling, Neil?
Yeah, really do not use the same shoes that you're walking around with. Don't use dirty old shoes that might have a rock in the sole or dirt in the sole, because it's a safety issue for you as well as the other bowlers around you. They really should be dedicated shoes. They can be, some people really prefer, tennis shoes, but they should be dedicated for bowling. And the rule portion of this is they must not mark or mar the approaches for other bowlers. So if you're bowling in, it could be regular bowling shoes as well, but street shoes or bowling shoes, and if they're leaving rubber marks on the lanes and that's affecting the ability of another bowler to slide or to safely play the game, that is when it becomes not allowed. So that's the rule aspect of bowling shoes.
So the non-marking shoes that don't wear and tear and leave any debris on the approach then.
Correct. All right, well, I hope you league bowlers out there have learned a little bit about shoes, know when you will move from one type to another, and I hope that helps you. I hope you continue to support our sport. Thank you.